Good morning, CSL family. How are we doing today? Good morning. My name is Antonio Edwards, music director here, and I just wanted to welcome you all here to CSL. Let's all stand up and sing our opening song, which is Spirit is in this place. Let's make a joyful noise. Come on. We have come here as we are.
Good morning, good morning. Spirit is in this place. Well, we know Spirit is in every place, but the song and the music gets us in alignment and in the vibration and frequency with the one, which is God, which is right here, right now. So good morning and welcome. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Fort Lauderdale. I'm Reverend Tina Miggs, and we are so happy that you're here. If you can't be in the room with us in the physical, there are 3 ways that you can join our spiritual community. They're online. They are Facebook live stream, YouTube, and our website at cslftl.org. So we're glad, however you join us, in the physical or online. Thank you for choosing to be with us. So if you're a first-time guest in the room, we have a "We are so glad that you are here" gift. We have these beautiful mala beads from Bali, and you can use them however you'd like. Once you get your gift, you can use your gift however you'd like. In your meditation or prayer practice, you can wear them, you can hang them from your rearview mirror, whatever it is you want to do with them. It's your choice. And then we also share, you'll be getting a little card, and we ask that you fill it out and then drop it in one of our offering baskets, and then you can receive our e-newsletter, and you can get up to date and in time with all the offerings that are happening here at CSL. So if it is your first time, we ask that if you could please stand so that our ushers can find you and that we can bring our gift to you. So we can give you a warm, warm welcome. If you're watching us on Facebook live stream, you can also let us know that in the comments that it's your first time with us on live stream, and we'll reach out to you as well. Please take a tour of our website, cslftl.org, learn more about us, and while you're there, sign up as well for those that are online for our e-newsletter. And so for everybody, online or in the physical, please follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. So here at CSL, we have an intention statement that says who we are as a spiritual community. Let's stand and say it together and then greet those around us with a hello, a handshake, a namaste, honoring everyone's comfortability in their greeting. So CSL Fort Lauderdale, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. Nothing stays the same. The young become old. 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from a cloud, the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything will change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Yes, everything will change. There are not many things in life you can be sure of. Except rain comes from a cloud, the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from a cloud, the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from a cloud, the sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly. Everything must change, no one stays the same. No, no, no. Rain and the sun and music makes me cry. It makes me cry.
Woo! Wow. Wow, Antonio. Mic check. All right. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Reflections. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we'll just begin with just an opening prayer. So if you just close your eyes with me in this moment. How wonderful it is to be here now. How grateful and thankful I am to recognize God, to recognize life, to recognize spirits, to recognize the universe as the one and only power the one and only life that there is, that is living, moving, and having its being in, through, and as my life, in, through, and as each and every individual life. That we are one. We are one with all that God is. And it is from this space of knowing our absolute oneness that we just give thanks for this service that is already unfolded in the mind of God. We give thanks for this space and place called Center for Spiritual Living in Fort Lauderdale, a space that we can come and commune and fellowship together, to be in truth together, to awaken and grow together. Blessing our beloved senior minister, Rev Skip, right where he is, knowing that he is feeling this love as there is no separation. He's feeling this oneness. He's feeling this celebration of spirit on this day that is this service. We thank him for his service, and we are just so grateful. We say, and so it is. Amen. So here at Center for Spiritual Living, we have 7 core values. They are love, healing, oneness, abundance, spiritual growth, sacred service, inclusivity, and diversity. And so today we are focusing on spiritual growth. Now, it's probably my favorite core value, and I know it's kind of like kids, you're not supposed to have a favorite, but I do. Spiritual growth is. Probably because, I don't know, it gives my mind something to work on. It's like, ooh, there's something, there's an end result here, right? There's something I get to participate in, and I'll get to see, right? Growth, we see growth. We may not see growth in the midst of the growing process, but there's always that growth that we see in hindsight, right? Retrospectively. We look back, I look back a few years in my life, and I'm like, whoa, look how much I've grown. Look how much we grow. And you know, from a young age, I was an interesting kid, I guess, a strange kid probably. But I knew that there was something more to life, right, than just mere existence, just mere living. I would look at my parents and my family, and I would think, how odd that they're just doing the same thing over and over again, right? Like on some level, I didn't have the language, but I was like, this is a weird thing that we do, this thing called life. But we're here to do this thing called life to grow. We are evolutionary beings. We are here to evolve. And so spiritual growth to me was just that meaty part of when I first found my spiritual community that I started taking classes in, that I was like, yes, I want to grow. It was a choice. It's a choice to grow. You know, it's been said often that pain is inevitable and suffering is optional. So what's the difference between suffering and pain, right? Pain is this physical experience, this experience that we may have through experiences that we encounter in life that could be painful. But the suffering aspect, right, that is something that's a state of consciousness. And so we don't have to suffer through the pain. And that spiritual growth is that stepping stone of getting past the suffering of life. So while pondering that quote and spiritual growth, I came up with change is inevitable, and how wonderful that Antonio sung that song today on change, right? So change is inevitable, and spiritual growth is optional. So not everyone chooses this path of growing. Not everyone chooses this path of learning. So again, this change, again, is inevitable. Spiritual growth is a state of consciousness again. And so that is what we get to choose. Change is the only constant in our life. So what do we choose to do with change? Do we suffer through it? Do we resist it? Or do we learn? Do we grow? Do we expand from the change? There's order present in change. There's order present in change. Everything changes. You know, change of seasons. We don't really get that much here in Florida, I know. But this beautiful time of moving from to winter, right? This dropping of the leaves of the trees, the changing, right? The seeming death of the winter, where everything is under snow and ice and cold and seems barren. But then there's a rebirth. So this is what happens when we move through our spiritual growth. A change, a dying to a way that I used to be, that we used to be, and then a rebirth into something greater and grander the greater expression of who we're meant to be in this world. So we all fall down, right? We all fall down. There's experiences we have in life, and the change happens. But again, to rise up is the choice, a choice that we get to make. There's also a quote that says, "Many choose and few are called." But my spiritual teacher reversed that as well and said, "Many are called, but few choose." So we are called to grow. We are called as spiritual beings to become a greater expression of who we are, to get into contact with the truth of who we are, to grow in our insights and our realizations, and expand in our awareness. You know, some people say that spiritual growth is something that happens within us, and so it's not really seen outwardly. It's an interior expression. But I don't believe that. I believe that you can see the growth that happens, right? In our family, in our friends, in our community, the people who choose to grow. Because how they then participate in the world changes. You know, Eckhart Tolle talked about when he had his awakening, if you will. When he wrote The Power of Now, he was having a very struggling, suffering life, and then one day he woke up and there was peace. There was peace, a peace that passed human understanding, and he couldn't understand this peace because he never experienced it before. And then he spent 2 years going to people to try to figure out this peace that he experienced. And what he realized is that was the first step in his growth process. And that experience of peace, regardless of what's happening in life, is the precipice for any growth. For any growth. So what are we choosing? We get to choose in our life, right? Are we choosing growth? Are we choosing struggle? I just ask that we choose wisely. Our core value for today is spiritual growth.
Good morning, CSL family. I'm Jeannie Looper-Smith, and CSL is part of a global organization with over 500 centers worldwide. We are a spiritual community that honors all religions and all faiths. We know there is no wrong way to worship, whether you're lighting a candle, repeating a mantra, or offering prayer. We respect and honor any way that draws us closer to Spirit. So we celebrate the diversity in religious practices with our ceremony this morning of the Flames of Faith. The candle is lit for to honor the universal path of harmony, the natural way. The candle is lit for the shamanic traditions, honoring the belief and practices of all indigenous people. The candle is lit for Hinduism, to honor the spiritual path of devotion and the variety of religious icons and deities. The candle is lit for Judaism, to honor the path of sacred law. The candle is lit for Buddhism, to honor the Four Noble Truths and the way of compassion. The candle is lit for Christianity, to honor the Christ consciousness that lives in all of us. The candle is lit for Islam, to honor the path of peaceful submission to the will of God. The candle is lit for the universal religion of Baha'i, to honor the path of unity. The candle is lit for our own faith. New thought, ageless wisdom, to honor the metaphysical path and the practice of universal spiritual principles. And then finally, the 10th candle is lit for peace and for the peaceful acceptance of all faiths and spiritual practices worldwide.
Good morning once again, CSL family. You may have noticed our regular vocalist, Miss Maylene So-Free, is not with us today. She's sharing her gift up in Tampa, so we wish her safe travels. But she did send a guest vocalist in her place, and I'm so very proud to welcome her. If you could welcome her with me. Her name is Christina Gilbert. Make some noise for Christina.
Hearts feel deeper, hills seem steeper, smiles get wider, joy feels brighter, words get bolder, and winter colder. Each passing year, friends grow dearer, feelings clearer, eyes get softer, tears fall freer, bonds last longer, and love grows stronger. Each passing year, like precious fading photographs, time leaves nothing spare, but love lasts forever. Once our love is shared, kids are sweeter, the house is neater, patience greater, our purpose straighter, life seems dearer, and God seems nearer. Each passing year, each passing
Wow. Christina, how beautiful. Not bad for your first try. Well, I'm still Jeannie Looper Smith, and I'm a CSL board member, a presider, a writer, and a storyteller, and a lifetime lover of Cheetos. When I'm invited to climb up on this stage, I sometimes find myself talking about topics that are controversial, maybe even taboo, talking about my breasts and the realities of dealing with a cancer diagnosis and healing, coming to terms with the reality of death and dying, and how to have a conversation about that few people in our culture are having. So, what's on the menu today, CSL? I'm telling you a true story about aging, about my own and yours. Because, pro tip, we're all aging. I believe that the process of aging and the later years of life can truly be golden. This is when I started aging. December 16th, 1946. Here I am, just hours old, with my mother, and getting older by the minute. That photograph marks the beginning of a journey that finds me celebrating my 76th birthday in less than 2 weeks. I've never lied about my age. I've had no work done on my face or my body, but I've smeared plenty of moisturizer on since I've been 15. I was once told, and I quote, "Stop telling people how old you are because you don't look it, and people will see you differently if they know how old you really are." Now, what's up with that? Why would I be seen differently if I own my age? And besides, this is what 76 looks like. All right, CSL friends, herein lies the problem of aging in our culture. It's much like discussing death and dying. No one wants to spend much time acknowledging it or talking about it, the realities of aging, and the benefits of it. So here goes. This is going to be more a sprint than a marathon because the topic of aging is so complex that the 20 minutes they've allowed me just doesn't begin to do it justice. So bear with me as I hit the high spots. From our earliest years, even childhood, we're bombarded by negative messages about aging. It's really sad to be old. Wrinkles are to be banished. Oldsters just shuffle on out of view, thank you, unseen, unnoticed, and unneeded. I think it's time we, who are in this spiritual teaching, embrace the realities of aging. Just as we can embrace the reality that our bodies are mortal and we are not our bodies, we can stop accommodating the culture's love affair with youth. Oh, I've been young, and it was wonderful. Writer Anne Lamott says, "We contain all the ages we have ever been." And I've been a baby, a toddler, a child, a teenager, a young adult, middle-aged, and now, what am I? Someone who looks good for my age. A senior, old fogey, old timer, aging boomer, an elder. But whatever title society assigns to us as we get older, most of us, and me included, I've discovered, experience ageism and also practice it. Isn't it interesting that as we age, we're the objects of ageism, but we also hold prejudice against aging? All the while, in the background, our clock is ticking. If I'm being honest, here's where I'll tell you that I do miss my neck. I took it totally for granted when I was young, and it was firm. I wish I had taken more pictures of it. It still turns heads, but now just mine. Back to ageism. There are a basket of isms. Ageism, racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, and xenophobia are also in the basket with the isms. These are socially constructed ideas. They are products of our culture. We make them up and we can change them. Ageism is not about how we look. It's about what our appearance means. We experience it anytime someone assumes that we're too old for something, a task, a relationship, a job, a haircut, wearing leather pants, or pleather pants, I should say, instead of finding out who we are and what we're capable of. Ageism cuts both ways, by the way, and young people experience it too. When people complain about lazy millennials or say that, well, in my day, kids weren't like that. Here's some pet peeves of mine. Being reluctant to own our time on the planet. Recently, I watched someone introduce a speaker and went out of his way more than once to keep from acknowledging how long he and the speaker had known one another, not wanting to mention the years they've lived and been good friends, instead of savoring their shared history. Here's another. Seeing birthday cards starting at around age 50 that at first glance seem funny, but paint an inaccurate picture and stereotype aging like this. I give you permission to chuckle. Jerry, let's take a look. By the time you reach old age, you've learned everything. Unfortunately, you can't remember any of it. At our age, getting lucky means walking into a room and remembering why. Retirement age protest. What do we want? Why did we come here? What were we saying? And urology department, can you hold? What do you think? It's okay if you laughed, but just realize how deeply ingrained our views of what it means to age really are. Today, there are few rites of passage. Unheralded events go unheeded and unnoticed. We may celebrate the arrival of a baby with a shower, a graduation from high school or college, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, an anniversary, and we might have cake when someone retires. But what after that? Most of us tend to see our final years which today may last decades, as a time of slow decline, a series of events and impairments culminating in our death. In this culture, no one teaches us how to heed the messengers of age. Who guides us in how to retire, become a grandparent or a great-grandparent? How to lose a loved one? How to complete a life review to process the wisdom of our own unique life experience? Or how to repair relationship wounds, forgiving ourselves and others for the regret that we carry into later life. It seems that something in us resists the messengers of age and longs to stay asleep to the truth of our aging and therefore our very spiritual development. We return to the comfort of denial and to identify with youth, which short circuits doing the deep soul work in this time of life. Growing old has become shameful. The status of older Americans finds roots in deeply held human fears about the inherent vulnerabilities of old age, the loss of mobility, visibility, and autonomy. We won't experience all of these, and only two unwanted ones are inevitable. We lose people we love, some we've known all our lives, and some part of our bodies will fall apart. They weren't designed to last forever. Right now, we live in a culture that has yet to reckon with and provide tools to help us deal with any of it. Why are the stereotypes of aging so insidious? Because they are so easily absorbed into our consciousness. Stereotyping cuts us off from others, even when the others are our future selves. Aging isn't easy. We're all concerned about something, whether it's running out of money. Ross and I are confident that we can live comfortably until Tuesday. Or we may worry about getting sick or ending up alone, and these are very real and valid fears. Experiencing grief in the loss of our family members and friends in this season of life is gut-wrenching. There's no slapping a smiley face on this aspect of getting older and the inevitable losses that come with it. So, I'll just leave that there. Western culture, especially in the U.S., is brutally youth-centric, and our depictions of older people are extreme. We're either shown running in a marathon or we're withering away in a nursing home. But most of us will land smack dab somewhere in the middle. Our bodies and our memories may not have the pizzazz that they once did, but we'll be out in the world and with some support, able to savor lives to the end. Condescension that is directed at olders shortens lives. The belittling dearies, honeys, and sweeties that people use to address older people only reinforce cultural stereotypes of incapacity and incompetence, which lead to poorer health, including shorter lifespans. People who see aging as a positive and necessary experience, according to statistics, live longer, 7.5 years longer on average, because they're motivated to take better care of themselves and they're not in resistance to aging. Even though we may age in different ways and at different rates, every single one of us wakes up a day older. Aging is a challenge, but few of us opt out, and our years on the planet can confer some very real benefits to us. Aging brings cognitive and emotional benefits which may seem contrary to the fear we carry about their decline. When a name or a word takes time to come to mind, the delay may not reflect decline, but mental processes at work. A growing number of studies say that the apparent lapse reflects the fact that older brains are sifting through the stockpile of information accumulated over a lifetime, filtering and placing it into context. More information and data stored make it harder to retrieve a name. That's good news, as I'm often trying to remember the name of a movie or its star with comments like, "Oh, you remember that guy? You know that guy that was in that movie? You know that movie, and his co-star was the blonde who looked like Marilyn Monroe, but that wasn't her name. You know that guy, what's his name?" Even though our retrieval time is longer, olders know more, have a wider worldview that allows us to read moods, make fewer misjudgments, and navigate tricky territory more easily than younger people. All right, now I'm quickly moving from the brain to the bedroom. And you know me, I'm not going to pull any punches here. Nowhere is ageism more ferocious than in the realm of sexuality. Most Americans think that older people aren't interested in sex, aren't capable of having it, so aren't having it, and even if we were, it couldn't be any good. I mean, sex is the domain of the young. Bodies are thin and firm. The only time sex was for the young is when people's life expectancy was such that they croaked at age 40 in past centuries. Wrinkly old people having sex? Why does this thought fill us with something close to disgust? Sex makes us feel more alive than almost anything else, and the thought of having it until we die ought to fill us with delight. It's time to connect age and robust sex lives in all its forms, no matter our sexual orientation. Sex can become more exciting as we age, more connected, more tender, more fun. And pro tip, there are old people, even grandparents and great-grandparents, or old enough to be, who are having great sex. I'm just saying. All right, so I've laid out some examples of ageism in our culture that have made it very difficult for us to age consciously and make it a powerful spiritual practice. But we can override the culture and see it as a golden opportunity to do the inner work of aging. There are spiritual nuggets just ready to be mined when we pursue conscious aging, and a spiritual journey of inner work that has us shift from role to soul. This phrase, role to soul, was coined by spiritual teacher Ram Dass. He describes this shift in identity from the very active roles we have embraced in our younger years to something far deeper and richer that does not depend on our productivity, our accomplishments, or our self-image. Ram Dass calls this spiritual essence loving awareness. Whether we call it soul, spirit, higher self, or God, when we identify and connect with that, we step into who we truly are. And with this shift, we can uncover the treasures of late life. We all can radically reinvent and redefine the process of aging for ourselves. And that's not doing more or doing more differently. It's finding a newfound freedom from the constraints of past roles and identities, and discovering who we were meant to be, seeing our lives through the lens of gratitude. And as we make this shift in awareness on the inside, we share our gifts of wisdom and love and leave a lasting legacy. All right, so here's a hit parade of a few treasures of late life, letting go of the past so that it doesn't control us and how we operate in this time of our life. Releasing our hurt, our anger, our resentment, and our regret by repairing and reframing relationships. Cultivating a genuine self-acceptance of who we are now, not allowing our inner critic to hijack our ability to feel and act with full authenticity. Finding a deeper and larger view of our life stories, which reveal our soul's mission. Reclaiming our lost creativity and exploring its joyous value today. Cultivating a quieter mind which creates space from negative feelings about aging and other concerns. Discovering a deeper identity which offers freedom from our past roles and responsibilities. We can grant ourselves permission to relax and to rest when we want and need to. Getting off society's gerbil wheel is one of the real pleasures of aging. Opening ourselves up to beauty, play, and gratitude. Choosing a spiritual practice that fits this stage of life and provides big rewards to our mental health, brain health, and emotional health. Stop identifying with doing and acknowledge our need to slow down, to self-reflect, thereby experiencing aging as a spiritual practice. And finally, releasing regret about our pasts. Give and receive forgiveness to ourselves and to others, and live feeling a peace in the face of death, knowing that we are eternal beings who return to our source, love. As we let go of our midlife values and efforts, our regrets and our wounds, and we see our lives from a higher vantage point, we discover renewed clarity, wisdom, and can embrace the totality of our life experience. I'm doing the most exciting work I've ever done in the third and final act of my life, finding my true purpose and treasuring in a much deeper way these precious days with my family and my friends. What a relief after a lifetime of effort to realize that age, through the lens of character, means we no longer feel the need to hustle for our worth and our value or to compete with others. That's something to relish. Rock on, oldsters. These years are truly golden. I say we celebrate and break open a bag of Cheetos. And so ends the lesson, and the journey continues. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all too. Thank you. Thanks so much. If you're new to CSL, we welcome you. Now is the time we talk about money, and that doesn't have to be a difficult conversation because we know that money is simply energy in physical form. We know that the law of circulation is a spiritual principle that we practice here at CSL. It's the gentle giving back and forth of giving and receiving. Ushers, come up front, please. If you've been inspired by this teaching and this spiritual community, we ask that you support us financially. As a board member, I know that what you give keeps the wheels turning here at CSL. So in whatever way you do that, we are so appreciative. You can go to cslftl.org to give, or if you haven't already downloaded our app, you can give there. Thank you to our TPL members who make a commitment and a consistent contribution to support what we do here. Your regular support is so appreciated and necessary. You know, it helps us to know what's coming in so that we can budget and we can plan for CSL's future. So for just a moment, let's close our eyes and say a blessing. We are so grateful for this CSL Fort Lauderdale community and what CSL brings to all of us. We know that prosperity and abundance is our birthright, both individually and collectively. We bless all the offerings that are coming through our members in the myriad of ways that support this community. We give thanks for this service today and all the ways in which it blesses us. And so it is. Ushers, go forth and receive the abundance.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
So it is time for our meditation. So I just invite everyone to close their eyes. We have the opportunity to become still together, to become fully present together, to choose to go within, to choose to grow spiritually, to choose this moment to pay indistractable attention to reality.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around me. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around me. In and through me. As me. In and through me. As me. God is all around me.
So let us put our attention on light. We already witnessed at the beginning of the service the candles, the flames of faith. And so I know that there is the flame of faith that exists in all of us. It's the flame of eternal truth right in the center of our being. As we choose to put our attention inwards to the center, to this flame, it can and does expand and grow and light our way. So as we are in this season, this holiday season, this time of lighting up the world, let us know and remember in this moment the light within. We are the lights that light up everything, that light up all the worlds. So as we move forward from this meditation space and come in contact with our day-to-day activities and seeing the lights that have been placed all outside of us, any light we see is a reminder of the light within.
And so it is, and I'm thankful, and so it is. God is all around me.
So I just invite us, CSL, to do our collective Om together. So let's breathe in and exhale. And breathe in. And so it is.
Hey, oh, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, I'm wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, I'm putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it will take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. Living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, I'm putting it in my stroll. I've been high stepping on, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, represent His glory. Hope is proud of living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. Living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden.
you, Christina, Antonio, and Reflections. Fabulous music today. And no matter what our age, let's all live our lives like it's golden. All right, so there's a lot going on here at CSL, just besides our Sunday celebration service. And for more information about anything I mention in these announcements, you can go to cslftl.org or on our CSL app for more information and to register. You know, sometimes we all need a little prayer boost, someone to hold space for us and to know the truth with us about any condition. And we have professional prayer practitioners here who can do just that. Would all of our prayer practitioners who are in the room right now please stand? Please see one of these beautiful people at the end of the service here in the sanctuary. They will make a difference for you. Also, our 24-hour prayer line is a resource at any time. Call it at 954-990-5625, and the prayer is new each day. At CSL, we have a thriving youth department where our children are learning the same things that we're learning, so they are aging over there in the youth department as we speak. Our youth bake sale is coming up next Sunday, December the 11th, after the service. This is always a very popular event, and all the proceeds go to support our CSL Youth Department. It's a sweet way to support our kids. If you like to bake, please consider sharing your culinary skills with us and bring something next week. You can bake your cake, buy it, and eat it too. If you'd like to contribute baked goods for the sale, please let us know. There's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, and items next week should be brought into the kitchen before the service. All right, remember to go with the flow. Flow yoga and meditation on Wednesdays at 7:15 a.m. and Fridays at noon. This is led by Reverend Skip, and the reviews are in. It's fabulous. 2 days and times to choose from, or attend both. Our holiday tree out there in the lobby has ornaments remaining. Please grab one of those to make the holidays a bit brighter for a student at Northside Elementary School. We want to see the tree bare today when we leave here of all the ornaments representing gifts that will delight a student there. We ask that all the gifts be received here at CSL by December 18th. If they're wrapped, that would be helpful. There will be holiday services here at CSL, a candlelight service on Christmas Eve, and a service on Sunday, Christmas Day. And Envy will be back for Christmas Day. These are always beautiful services for our community, full of music and meaning. So please join us. And one last announcement, our CSL Sacred Service training is happening on 2 days this month. And anyone who is in sacred service and volunteering in any capacity here at CSL should attend one of these days, either December 11th or the 18th. All right, let's stand together and say our affirmation, and then Reverend Tina will lead us in our closing prayer, followed by our children and youth joining us for This Is My Wish. I am the light that shines and illuminates the planet Everywhere I go, I release the universal glow of God. And so I am, and so it is. Be sure to join us next week here at CSL, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time in the room or online.
How wonderful was today? Come on, round of applause for Ginny Looper Smith. All that has unfolded. So how grateful and thankful I am just to be aware of the children that are walking up behind us, right? The youth, the middle-aged, the elders, to know that it is this one life that is expressing through all of us. It is good, it is on time, it is perfect, it is the truth of who and what we are. Yes. And so I know that we go forth and we bring this blessing. Everywhere that we go, we shine the light. We shine the lights, the luminosity, the truth to all that we come into contact with. Okay. And so it is.
And so
Amen.
it is.
Please join us for This Is My Wish.
This is my wish for the world, peace to find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful voice, ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth, peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine, 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 shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Whoa, oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Whoa, oh, yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful bells and ring your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Happy Sunday. Have a wonderful and happy birthday to my mom.
Thank you for taking part in today's live stream. Your participation means so much to us. Remember, there's several ways to give. Click on the donate button here on Facebook or donate at our homepage, cslftl.org. There's also a regular giving program called TPL, where you can set up a monthly contribution. You'll find details on our webpage, cslftl.org. Here's a great way to stay in touch with CSL Center for Spiritual Living. Our brand new app is available in the App Store under Center for Spiritual Living, FL, and that's Florida. Stay in touch, and thank you again for participating in our live stream. We'll see you soon.